Hello, English learner. Welcome back to English Speaking and Listening Club. Today is a very special day. It is a day of decision. It is a day where we draw a line in the sand and say, no more. Today's topic is I finally took control of my life. This sounds like a very big title, doesn't it? It sounds dramatic. But when we talk about learning English, we are not just talking about vocabulary lists and verb tenses. We are talking about confidence. We are talking about freedom. We are talking about who is driving the car of your life. For a long time, I was sitting in the passenger seat of my own life. I was letting fear drive. I was letting my doubts determine where I went. I was letting silence make my decisions for me. But then, I woke up. I decided to take the steering wheel. And today, I want to teach you how to do the same. I want you to stop being a victim of your fear and start being the master of your voice. I remember the years when I felt like I had no control. I was learning English, but I felt like English was controlling me. I was afraid of it. Every time I had to speak, I felt like a small child. I felt powerless. I would walk into a room and hope that nobody would talk to me. I would hide in the corner. If someone asked me a question, I would give the shortest answer possible just to make the interaction end quickly. I was living in a prison that I built myself. The walls of this prison were made of fear, shame, and perfectionism. I thought that I couldn't speak until I was perfect. I thought that I had to wait for permission to be heard. I was waiting for a teacher to tell me, "Okay, you are good enough now." But that day never came. Because permission is not something that is given to you. Permission is something you take. Taking control of your life means accepting a hard truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to wave a magic wand and make you fluent. No one is going to do the push-ups for you at the gym. And no one is going to do the speaking for you in life. For a long time, I was angry about this. I wanted it to be easier. I wanted a shortcut. I ignored the work because I was afraid of the struggle. But when I finally took control, I realized that the struggle is the way. I stopped looking for the easy path, and I started walking the necessary path. The necessary path is paved with daily action. It is paved with the sound of your own voice. Let's talk about what taking control looks like in your daily English practice. Before I took control, my study habits were passive. I would watch videos, just like you are watching now, and I would nod my head. I would read books quietly. I was a spectator. I was watching the game of English, but I was not playing it. Taking control means getting on the field. It means realizing that English is a physical activity. You cannot learn to speak with your eyes. You must learn with your mouth. I started to implement mouth training. I stopped caring if I looked silly. I stood in front of my mirror every single morning. I looked at myself in the eyes, and I spoke. I didn't just think the words. I forced them out of my throat. I took control of my muscles. You have to understand that your mouth is a machine. If you do not use it, it will rust. Fear tells you to keep the machine turned off. Fear tells you that if you turn it on, you will make a mistake and explode. But when you take control, you turn the machine on anyway. You accept that there will be noise. You accept that there will be smoke. You accept that the first few sentences will be ugly. That is okay. That is part of the process. I remember the first week I really committed to speaking out loud every day. My jaw hurt. My tongue felt tired. But for the first time in my life, I felt powerful. I wasn't just consuming English. I was producing it. I was creating sound. I was taking up space in the world. Taking control also means taking control of your mindset regarding mistakes. This was the hardest part for me. I used to let one mistake ruin my entire week. If I used the wrong preposition, or if I forgot a word, I would beat myself up. I would tell myself, "You are stupid. You will never learn." I was a bully to myself. Imagine if you had a friend who followed you around and insulted you every time you tried to learn something new. You would tell that friend to leave, but we let that voice live in our heads. Taking control means firing that inner bully. It means choosing to be your own best friend. Now, when I make a mistake, I control my reaction. I do not let the mistake control my emotions. I smile. I correct myself if I can, and if I can't, I move on. I tell myself, a mistake is just data. It is information. It tells me what I need to practice. I want to ask you a question. Who is in charge of your schedule? Are you finding time for English, or are you making time for English? There is a big difference. The person who is not in control says, "I am too busy. I have work. I have family. I will study when I have free time." But we all know that free time does not exist. The person who is in control says, "My voice is a priority. I will wake up 15 minutes early. I will speak while I drive to work. I will speak while I cook dinner." Taking control means integrating English into your life, not waiting for life to stop so you can do English. I stopped making excuses. I realized that my excuses were just fear wearing a mask. I didn't have a time problem. I had a priority problem. When I made speaking a priority, I found the time. Let's go deeper into the fear of judgment. This is the ultimate loss of control. When you are afraid of what others think, you are giving them the keys to your happiness. You are letting their opinion or what you think is their opinion control your actions. You stay silent because you don't want them to judge you. But listen to me. People are not thinking about you as much as you think. And even if they are judging you, so what? Does their judgment pay your bills? Does their judgment fulfill your dreams? No. When I took control of my life, I decided that my desire to connect was stronger than my fear of judgment. I decided that I would rather speak imperfectly and be understood than be silent and be perfect. Silence is safe, but it is lonely. I was tired of being lonely. I want you to visualize a switch in your brain. Right now, the switch might be on passive mode. In passive mode, things happen to you. You hear English. You read English. You are a vessel waiting to be filled. I want you to mentally reach out and flip that switch to active mode. In active mode, you make things happen. You attack the language. You play with it. You break it and put it back together. You repeat phrases until they surrender to you. When I started doing repetition drills, I felt like a warrior. I would take a difficult sentence, a sentence that twisted my tongue, and I would say, I will not let this sentence defeat me. I would say it 10 times, 20 times, 50 times. Slowly, the sentence would become smooth. I was conquering the language, one sentence at a time. This gives you a feeling of power that reading a book never can. You must also take control of your environment. If you say, "I have no one to speak to," you are giving up control. You are saying that your success depends on other people. But that is not true. You can speak to yourself. You can speak to your phone. You can record your voice and listen to it. I used to record myself speaking for 1 minute every evening. Then I would listen to it. It was painful at first. I hated the sound of my voice. I heard all my errors, but I kept doing it. After a month, I could hear the improvement. I became my own teacher. I took control of my progress. I didn't need a certificate or a grade from a school. I had the evidence of my own ears. Think about the regrets you will have if you do not take control. I thought about this often. I thought, if I stay silent, if I stay scared, 10 years will pass. I will be 10 years older, but I will be exactly the same. That terrified me more than speaking. I realized that the pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret. Discipline feels hard in the moment. It is hard to force yourself to speak when you are tired. It is hard to push through the embarrassment. But that pain is clean. It is the pain of growth. The pain of regret is toxic. It sits in your stomach and rots. I chose the clean pain. I chose the sweat of effort over the tears of regret. There is a concept I want to share with you called radical responsibility. This means that you accept 100% responsibility for your level of English. You do not blame your education system. You do not blame your busy job. You do not blame your age. You say, "I am where I am because of my choices, and I can be somewhere else tomorrow because of my new choices." When I accepted this, I stopped complaining. Complaining is the opposite of control. Complaining is saying you are a victim. Action is saying you are a victor. Instead of complaining about my accent, I worked on my pronunciation. Instead of complaining about my vocabulary, I learned 5 new words and used them in sentences immediately. Radical responsibility sets you free. I want to speak to you about the plateau. There will be times when you feel stuck. You are practicing, but you don't feel like you are improving. In the past, this is when I would quit. I would say, "It's not working. I am not in control." But now I know that the plateau is part of the climb. It is where the brain is consolidating information. When I hit a plateau, I don't stop driving. I just shift gears. I change my routine. I try something new. I challenge myself harder. I take control of the stagnation. I don't let the lack of visible progress stop my daily habits. I trust the process more than the immediate result. Let's imagine your life 6 months from now if you decide to take control today. Imagine you have established a daily habit of speaking for 10 minutes. You have stopped translating in your head and started trusting your mouth. You have stopped fearing mistakes and started using them as stepping stones. How do you feel? You feel lighter. You walk with your head held high. When you hear English spoken, you don't feel panic. You feel excitement. You feel ready to jump in. This future is not a fantasy. It is a mathematical certainty if you put in the inputs. The input is daily, courageous speaking. The output is confidence. You control the input. Therefore, you control the output. I want you to know that you are not alone in this feeling of losing control. We live in a world that is very noisy. It is easy to feel small, but your voice is your identity. When you speak English, you are not just translating your native language. You are translating your soul. You are showing a new part of yourself to the world. Don't you want to meet that part of yourself? I was so curious to meet the English-speaking me. I wondered, is he funny? Is he serious? Is he loud? I could only find out by taking control and letting him speak. I discovered that I loved this new version of myself. He was braver than the old me. He had to be. He had to fight for every word. So, how do we start today? We start small, but we start firm. You need to make a contract with yourself. You can write it down. Your name, promise to take control of my English journey. I promise to speak every day, even if my voice shakes. I promise to be kind to myself when I fail. I promise to never give up. Sign it. Put it on your wall. Look at it every morning. This is your declaration of independence. You are declaring independence from fear. I want you to practice the art of self-correction. This is a powerful tool for control. When you are speaking and you make a mistake, catch it, stop, say, wait. Let me say that again, and say it correctly. This shows that you are aware. It shows that you are the boss of your sentences. If you miss it, don't worry. But if you catch it, fix it. This is active learning. It keeps your brain engaged. It reminds you that you have the power to edit your own speech. You are the writer, the editor, and the speaker of your life story. Do not underestimate the power of physical energy. When you want to take control, change your body language. If you sit slumped over, looking down, you feel weak. Your voice will be weak. Stand up. Pull your shoulders back. Breathe deeply into your belly. When your body is strong, your voice is strong. I used to practice English while walking fast or jogging. The energy of my body transferred to my speech. I felt dynamic. I felt unstoppable. Try this. Do not just sit in a chair and mumble. Move and speak. Take control of your physiology. There is a beautiful phrase, the only way out is through. You cannot go around the fear of speaking. You cannot go under it. You must go through it. You must walk through the fire of embarrassment to get to the water of confidence. Taking control means stepping into the fire willingly. It means saying, "This will be uncomfortable, but I can handle it." You are stronger than you think. You have survived 100% of your bad days. You have overcome challenges in your life that were much harder than learning a language. Remind yourself of your strength. You are a survivor. You are a fighter. Apply that same spirit to your English. I want to remind you that your English does not have to be perfect to be powerful. Some of the most powerful speakers in the world speak with accents. They speak with simple grammar, but they speak with conviction. They speak with control. They believe in what they are saying. When you believe in yourself, the listener believes in you too. Confidence is contagious. If you are nervous, the listener gets nervous. If you are calm and in control, the listener relaxes. Be the leader in the conversation. Even if you have fewer words, you can lead with your energy. Today, I am handing you the keys to the car. I am telling you that the passenger seat is no longer your place. You belong in the driver's seat. The road ahead might be bumpy. There might be fog. You might get lost sometimes. But you are driving. You are deciding the destination. And that feeling of agency, that feeling of ownership, is the best feeling in the world. It is better than fluency. It is self-respect. I fell in love with English when I stopped trying to conquer it and started trying to control my own reaction to it. I realized English is just a tool. It is a hammer. You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can drop it on your foot. For years, I dropped it on my foot and cried. Then, I picked it up, held it tight, and started to build. I built a bridge to you. I built a bridge to the world. I want you to pick up your hammer today, grip it tightly, and start building. Thank you for listening to this long message. I spoke for a long time because I know how deep this problem goes. I know that you needed to hear this. You needed to be reminded of your own power. You are ready. You have always been ready. You just needed to decide. So, here is your call to action. I want you to do one thing today that proves you are in control. Make a phone call you have been avoiding. Record a video of yourself speaking for 2 minutes. Go to a store and ask a question in English. Do something that scares you. And when you do it, feel that rush of adrenaline. That is the feeling of life returning to your veins. That is the feeling of taking control. If this video helped you wake up and take the wheel, please like this video. It helps our community grow. It helps other people who are sleeping in the passenger seat to wake up. And please subscribe to the channel. We are a club of drivers. We are a club of people who are taking charge of our destiny. I am so proud to be on this road with you. I will see you in the next lesson. Drive safe. Keep speaking. Take control.